Story of my life and how I grew up to become this most hated, greatest powerful villain, THANoS.
I was born with a glove on my hand, and I looked strangely ugly. I could talk from day one, and I cussed a lot when they tried to take the glove off, and my gems fell off. I was so fast, so I caught all gems before they could hit the ground. From that moment everyone was afraid of me since they didn't even know where I came from, which I am about to tell you. My first days on this world were not easy, which is why I look this angry. After being born, my mother, whose name I'll tell you later, put me on a bed filled with thorns. For those who don't know thorns, they pierce you like a needle. My mother then took me to space naked, it was called, like hellfire. We stayed up there for 11 hours because she enjoyed to watch me cry. All of that, she was trying to toughen me. So when I stopped crying, she dropped me to the ground from up there and enjoyed to watch me fall. I was found by the Judas tribe and they took me in before my mother could find me, but later I found out who my mother was. Her name is THANoS, which translates everything bad. THANoS was the god of ugliness and nastiness naturally. She was raised by rapist zombie gorillas that kidnapped her when she was a baby. Her parents believed she had died. So when she became of age, her powers manifested and she killed all the gorilla families she had known since young. So angry, she went in search of her parents, who had abandoned her as she believed, and killed them all, including the entire bloodline, without a second thought. She noticed that she actually enjoyed killing. She was taking so much pleasure in it. So she killed the whole nation by different forms of torture until she was the only one remaining. Until she met Hades, also known as God of War. Hades was bored from wandering world to world causing wars, but never get satisfied until he decided to venture into these woods where he found THANoS. Remember, THANoS had already turned the entire nation into a vast wilderness, so they really got along and ended up sleeping together, hence my mother becoming pregnant with me, THANoS. Before she could tell Hades, aka my father, he had already fallen for a rapist zombie gorilla and taken off with it and never seen again. My mother was so angry, especially because she believed she had killed all gorillas. She kept all her anger until I was born, then she took it out on me, which made me who I am today.
Well, you've seen my mother. Now that you know what I'm made out of, tell me, would you really blame me for what I do, for my temper? Okay, I'll take you and show you more about me. But before that, let me show you first the end of my mother.
When my mother lost me, she was never the same, and after many years of waiting, she lost hope of ever finding me, so she decided to shape-shift into a human, so she can blend in and live a normal life. And as she wished, she lived a normal life indeed, but only for so long. Once a witch, always a witch. She tried to maintain the beauty, the humanity, even fake smiles. But again, she could only do it for so long. Slowly, the stinkiness, the ugliness, and the grumpiness started manifesting until it was too conspicuous to hide. All her friends were disgusted by her, everyone rejected her, and when she felt rejected, she did it again. She killed the entire nation, and that's when I heard about it. Old neighboring worlds heard about it, and they were saying she's done it before. So when I saw the face, I knew in my heart exactly what she was, my mother. I was so happy that I couldn't wait a second to see her, so she can tell me why I'm wired this way. I was 3 years old, which in your time equals 300 years. But it didn't matter because, unlike other kids, I was not afraid of anything. So I stole a ship, and it was not hard to find her because she was waiting to see who is on that ship. You won't believe what happened next. You will think I'm lying. Before I even got out of the ship, she sensed it was me, and the moment she saw my face, she started shooting at my ship with balls of fire. She jumped and got me out and started punching me like a grown man. And all the while she's screaming out saying to me, "You are the one who caused me all this pain. You've made me lower myself to human level, so they can humiliate me and make me feel so small. Like I'm about to make you feel right now. I'm also going to rape you like the rapist zombie gorillas did to me growing up, so you can know what real humiliation feels like." So afraid. For the first time, I screamed out very loud. Then my mother's body started deteriorating from my screaming. Her body started decomposing as I kept screaming out of fear and anger and confusion. I didn't stop screaming until I was safe and she was kneeling before me shapeless. She screamed her lungs out like a witch she was, while vanishing, and she still managed to throw out a few words. The words were, "You will die in pieces, you son of a witch bitch that I am. You will never have children of your own, you will die alone." Then she laughed like a witch she was. Her last words were, "THANoS, son of everything bad." So hurt, confused, alone, angry and so much more. I sat down with too many questions in my head, especially this particular one. How can my mother not be happy to see me after all this time? This is where part 1 ends. Please wait for part 2. It's coming as soon as tomorrow. And please share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you. Life story of THANoS.